What's up, guys? It's that guy Tommy, and I am back to finish out Gameological Digs, Soma Lore videos, the second part of part 5, Do Not Go Gentle. Where we left off with um, um, Sarah's passing, with us turning off her life support, and now we're going on. Now Simon has the Ark and the plan to launch it into space, and we will get the ending of the game. And of course, my theories and connections to what the ending means, how it works, and yeah, let's dive in.
With the Ark at last in his possession, Simon makes his way through the access tunnel, where he finds the path blocked by the same debris that killed Seal Kowalski. Ross appears to him then, and conspicuously creates an alternative route through the tunnel, leading Simon directly to Site Alpha. Inside, Ross explains everything.
Just tell me what you want.
Site Alpha is where I said if this was a Dark Souls or Bloodborne or like a FromSoft game, this would be like the final and worst level of the entire game.
Just tell me what you want.
I need you to stop the WoW.
What? How?
The enslaved protein sloshing around your suit is the noose from which the WoW will hang itself.
What are you talking about?
As soon as I came to in Omicron, I tried to tell them to make the toxin that would make the WoW wither, but they didn't understand. They put it inside my cabinet. It was so infuriating. They needed to take it to Alpha, the fountainhead of the misery we created. And then the girl, she figured it out. She was going to take care of it, but the WoW shrieked. They all died. You took the gel from the cabinet and made yourself into a venomous snake.
You're saying this toxin inside of me can kill the WoW altogether?
You are the snake, son. Now strike at the heart.
Ross reveals that after being revived at Omicron, he attempted to communicate with the staff to tell them to use the modified structure gel to kill the WoW. However, only one person understood him, Raleigh Herber, who tried to enact the destruction of the WoW herself. To prevent this, the WoW overloaded their black boxes, killing them. Knowing that Simon used the modified gel to repair the power suit, Ross then tried to convince him to destroy the WoW. Much like Sarah, you were provided a choice. You can opt to ignore Ross's pleas and spare the WoW, which will result with him becoming hostile.
You can't leave. We're not done. Please, Simon. Humanity will suffer for an eternity. If you don't finish this, I'll make you. Having your way.
Or you can choose to listen to Ross and contaminate the WoW with the modified structure gel, ostensibly killing it.
That's unsettling for a whole lot of reasons. And also, Simon, could he have felt that? That's worse.
Please. I did what you wanted.
You did good, Simon. But you can't leave. The only way to make sure the WoW stays dead is to destroy the only one who's immune to the new pattern.
Regardless of your choice, Ross will attempt to kill Simon. Fortunately for Simon, the Leviathan appears and destroys Ross, providing Simon the opportunity to escape. The great beast gives chase, however, pursuing Simon as he sprints from cover to cover trying to reach Site Phi. He eventually makes it, entering the station, which is, Curiously, in far better condition than any other site, especially considering its close proximity to Site Alpha. Catherine and Simon then restore power to Phi. After finding Catherine's body, he then loads the Ark into the space gun shell. Simon reaches the pilot seat used to operate the space gun, and together with Catherine, begins the launch sequence, which conspicuously is tied directly to the mind transfer sequence. When the countdown begins, Simon must sit and watch as both Catherine's mind and his own are transferred to the Ark. As the 20-second launch sequence ticks away, it becomes glaringly obvious that Simon's transfer won't finish in time, that is, to the last second. When the scan bar fills all the way to the top, the scan finished, the Ark launched. They succeeded, except...
Yeah, we made it! Woo! I'm still here. I'm still here. Catherine? Catherine?
I'm here.
What the hell happened? What went wrong?
Nothing. They're out there, among the stars. We're here.
No. We were getting on the Ark. I saw it. It finished loading just before it launched.
Yeah, I saw.
Then why are we still here?
Simon, I can't keep telling you how it works. You won't listen. You know why we're here. You were copied onto the Ark. You just didn't carry over. You lost the coin toss. We both did. Just like Simon at Omicron, just like the man who died in Toronto 100 years ago.
No. This is bullshit. We came all this way. We launched the Ark.
I know it sucks, but our copies are up there. Catherine and Simon are both safe on the Ark. Be happy for them.
Are you crazy? We're gonna die down here with those fuckers living at large on a spaceship. They're not us. They're not us.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Simon. I'm proud of what we did. We made sure that something of the hundreds of thousands of years of human history survives, that something lives on.
No. Fuck this. Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck you, Catherine. You lied. And I believed in you. I trusted you. You said we're getting on the fucking Ark.
We are on the Ark, you idiot! I didn't lie. I can't be responsible for your goddamn ignorance. You...
Fuck! Catherine? Please don't leave me alone. Catherine? Catherine?
The epilogue shows us these last few moments from the perspective of Simon on the Ark. He now appears in his human form, surrounded by lush greenery, tinkling streams, and a sun so radiant it might as well be the face of God himself. Quite fitting, really. This is paradise. But it's also an illusion, a digital dream. The purpose of this video series was never for me to speculate on the philosophical nature of the narrative. I don't have the expertise nor the understanding to do that conversation any justice. But I will say, knowing what we know about the Ark, and about the dream states the WoW placed humanity in, one can't help but wonder if the two are really all that different. We don't have context for the WoW's dream state, that's true. For all we know, it might be quite pleasant. But we do have eyes, and we can see that most, if not all, within that state looked pained, ill, and sometimes not even human. But neither did Simon Jarrett. He was, as Catherine stated back at Lambda.
You're a walking, talking diving suit with some electronics slapped on for good measure.
And yet, he felt human. He literally thought he was human until the moment he was made to see otherwise. So ask yourself, how real can the world be to someone who is not aware they are living in a dream? I say quite real. But even if they are aware, does that make it any less real? I say no. If you think otherwise, I suggest you go talk to Simon Jarrett back on Earth. I bet he'd disagree with you wholeheartedly. On the beach, Simon finds a woman staring out at the skyline. Her back is to us, but we know who she is right away. Catherine. As the screen fades to black from the idyllic fantasy, we're reminded once again that this is not a happy ending. Not really. Yes, the Ark has been launched, and that's important, because it represents the hope of a species. But a hope is not a guarantee, and the home of that species is a blasted hearth. In the end, the ghost of humanity is just living on a hope, living on another dream. and all we can do is watch as the Ark drifts into the depths of space, having traded in one abyss for another.
Beautiful animation on this ending. I wonder if they just took like a photograph of space and just like kind of superimposed the satellite onto it. Okay. So, yeah, that's SOMA, everybody. There's not another overview by Gamological Dig, but there is another that I might do by somebody else that I might to like talk more about the series, because this is a really good game. If you like horror, you like puzzles, and you like those things fused together, I suggest see if there's a sort of way you can still download this game. But I remember when I said this, especially when I said this for the video yesterday, that I had a theory about this game, like how it ties into a certain movie. That movie, like especially the more towards the, because I'm gonna get to the Simon in the Abyss thing, but let's get to that. That's the heavier part to talk about. But the ending with the arc in space. It distinctly reminds me of Dark City, 1998, directed by Alex Proyas. It starred Rufus Sewell, William Hurt, Kiefer Sutherland, Jennifer O'Connelly, and Richard O'Brien, and Ian Richardson. Highly underrated movie, and a lot of people consider it to be like what The Matrix kind of got some of its ideas from, because it's very similar in terms of the mystery of what the world is, what's going on, and like as one individual who's like kind of thrust into like the battle between these two powers. Like those who know, those who don't know, specifically what I mean. But without giving too much away, it's also somewhat kind of, I don't know if I say that. If I say that, it'll give it away. You know what? Go watch Dark City if you have never seen it. It's especially if you like neo noir and science fiction. It's a fantastic fusion of those two. It's a great film. I didn't see it until years later because it has a trailer. The trailers used to scare me as a kid. I finally saw it as an adult. It's a really good movie. I strongly champion anyone to go try and find and watch Dark City. But you know, I'll go ahead and stop there talking about that. But that's just where I think when I think about the Ark being in space, I think about Dark City. When you see Dark City, you'll see what I mean. Now, that ending with Simon and Catherine. Oh my God! The first time I saw that, I don't think I spoke for like 5 minutes, like watching a playthrough. I think I was just so flabbergasted and dumbstruck. I was like, is that the end? There's no way that's the end, right? There can't be the end. And then the credits roll, and I, you know, Lord forgive me, but I was like, Jesus, have mercy. Who thought of that ending? Because that is one of the saddest endings I think I've ever seen in anything, bar none. And like, and okay, you can always argue that, you know, that's not even the real Simon anyway. He died 100 years ago, and back in 2003, 2004, whenever the original Simon got his brain scan. You can always argue that, and that's true. But the Simon we've been traveling with. And of course, you can always also argue that this is the Simon we've been traveling with the entire time, because we left that one back at Omicron, and this is basically a new Simon. Which, by the way, there's all that thing of like new. There was a show or movie that did that. There's a show that did that recently. I can't remember what it's called. It's something like that recently. I can't remember what it's called. But you guys if you guys watch this, let me know in the comments what show I'm thinking about. But no, man, that has. Excuse me, that ending, man, was so haunting, uncomfortable, unsettling, disturbing, nerve-wracking, just made you feel chills. It did that all so well that I loved it. That ending made me so uncomfortable. I said, this is one of the greatest endings to anything in any medium I've ever seen. That's movies, that's books, that's video games, that's TV shows. That is one of the greatest endings to anything I've ever seen because it's so uncomfortable and thematically it works. I do not mind something that's crazy and insane if thematically it makes sense. And in terms of Soma, that ending was so perfectly well done. I have no notes. I think when you're going for a certain theme of something, that's the kind of thing you want to do. You want to go to something that matches up thematically with what you're doing. And when you talk about things that match up thematically, that is it 100%. 100%. That is one of the single best endings of anything I've ever seen. I love the tone of it. I love the idea of it. I love the realism of what could happen. Realism, you know what I mean, in that situation. Now, I did have a few theories, and I think I alluded to this, especially when we talk about like the MS Curie. I alluded to this early in the series. And I do have a few theories. Here's a big one that I've always had, and I still might write a fan fiction about because I've always had this idea. How do we know that the MS Curie was the only ship that managed to avoid the initial destruction of the comet? What if there were others? Not necessarily like the Curie. What if there were other submarines? In other words, I think about like a movie like The Last Ship, which takes place after like a nuclear war, and the ship goes back to America with its crew to I just ruined the Last Ship. But if you ever it's an old black and white movie, 1960s, 70s, something like that. But what if there's another ship out there? What if there's another ship out there that's like just scouring the ocean floor looking for anything? What if it comes across the WoW? What if it comes across the deactivated WoW? What if it comes across and it's able to go further down in the depths and it comes across Tau and Alpha and Phi and even what if they even detect the space gun launch? What if there are people left? What if they find Simon? What if they were like 2 steps behind Simon in Tau, and they revive Sarah? What if they found what's her name? What is her name? And there was an Upsilon. Amy. I think it was Amy Azaro. And save her, revive her, and this kind of stuff. What if there are other people left who managed to survive the comet? I'm not saying that's what happened. But just the what ifs of that. This is where the writer in me comes in. With the what ifs are fantastic to me. Like what if there were people who were still alive? What if there are people who could still maybe find Simon and repair him and fix Catherine? What if Catherine backed up her system somewhere and Simon can go reactivate that, apologize, and they can figure something else out, go back up to Omicron, and if they can find a way to reactivate the climber and go back, maybe the WoW's shutting down, maybe all the WoW's creatures are slowly dying off. I mean, the Leviathan was still around, but that just happened. What if the Leviathan's attack on Ross and Simon was like a last gasp? What if that wasn't I'm gonna get you? When more that was like hey, this is the tail that's been cut off, still flailing around before it dies off. What if this game is so good that it creates that many what ifs, and I love that. Again, I doubt I'll ever play it because it's still horrifying, and I think if I play it, I'll play a lot of it would be like, what was that? And me dropping the controller. But in terms of story, in terms of lore, in terms of the world building, fantastic game. If you like horror, if you like suspense, if you like mysteries, if you like puzzle solving, I strongly suggest getting this game. What are you guys' thoughts? If I do the other Soma lore video, which I might do, I'm still debating. It'll be up soon enough. But what did you guys think? What did you guys think of me doing this reaction series? Is there anything that like this you want me to react to? The Vati video videos I'm going to do pretty soon. Those cover the lore of Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and all those kinds of games. Mostly Dark Souls. And God, those games need lore videos. But yeah, guys. What do you think? What did you think of this series? What did you think of the game? If you've played Soma, what do you think of Soma? Tell me your thoughts. Or If you haven't played Soma, if you've been watching these videos, what are your theories? Is the game just, is that just it and done? There is nothing else to say or do. There are no what ifs of this game. There are no what ifs of this world. It's just what you see is what we get. Um, and also, I thought of this very grim thought. Space debris is a real thing. How does the satellite navigate that? What if? What if? So yeah, yeah. So yeah, man, there's so much to think about with this game. It asks so many questions. I think more people should talk about this game, even though it's older. I still think it's one of the ones that like should exist in a bigger zeitgeist. If I use that word properly, hopefully I did. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave your comments down below what you thought of this series that I did. What you think of Gameological Digs. Shout out to Gameological Dig for doing these 5 videos. I don't really think that they post anymore, but I hope they do someday. I hope he comes back, posts more videos, does more lore stuff. I think I saw they had a Patreon. I don't know if it's active. I should check that out. If you guys check it out, check out his channel. Go subscribe to him. He has some other videos. I don't know if I'll do, but they are pretty fun too. But we'll see. Maybe I will do those. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the love, all the support. Of course, all the socials are right there. Be sure to like this video, share it, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to notify when I go live or when I post a new video. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And minasan, sayonara. Peace. What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out the video. Really appreciate you. You guys are wonderful. You're stupendous. You're magnanimous. It's a great word, isn't it? Magnanimous. Anyway, thanks for watching. Keep on the lookout for more. Follow me on all my socials. And if you're on YouTube, be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. That really helps me out. Thank you guys so much for checking me out, checking out the videos, and get ready for more coming down the pipe, because you never know what's coming next. See you guys soon. Peace. I think that was pretty good. What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out the video. Really appreciate you. You guys are wonderful. You're stupendous. You're magnanimous. It's a great word, isn't it? Magnanimous. Anyway, thanks for watching. Keep on the lookout for more. Follow me on all my socials. And if you're on YouTube, be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. That really helps me out. Thank you guys so much for checking me out, checking out the videos, and get ready for more coming down the pipe, because you never know what's coming next. See you guys soon. Peace. I think that was pretty good.